meet the men from the ministry. Join us for another canter down the corridors of power with Norma, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham, and the men from the ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. In government service, dedicated men spend long hours grappling with the crises of the modern world.
Well, I've been working all morning on this one, Mildred. The financial situation being what it is, I've just got to get it right, you see.
But you finished now, have you?
Yes, I think this is the best plan. Now, if you'll just stand by to take it down.
Pencil poised, sir.
Right. First selection, Jolly Jack in the 2:30 each-way bet. 7-year itch in the 3 o'clock. Tea for 2 at 4. And finally, Roman nose.
Roman nose.
That's running at Epsom.
I always reckon backing horses is the surest way to get nothing for something.
No nonsense, Mildred. You must be optimistic. Everything's got a bright and sunny side.
Hello, one.
Well, almost everything.
Sorry, I'm late back from lunch. I was eating it in the park and the duck pinched my porridge sandwiches.
Oh, what a shame.
Don't worry, I waded in and got them back.
Waded in, but your trousers aren't wet.
Well, of course not. I took them off.
You took your trousers off, but didn't people see you?
No, I was hidden by the crowd on the bank.
Oh, glory. By the way, Mildred, put an accumulator on all 4 bets, would you?
Right, sir.
That horse you backed yesterday didn't do too well, one.
Just unlucky, that's all. Should have been a photo finish.
By the time your horse passed the post, it was too dark to take photos.
Well, you can scoff too, but pretty soon the boot will be on the other side of your face. Thanks to my new system, I'll be making a fortune today.
Really, one?
When these horses come up, I'll get thousands. I'll be able to buy a big house in the country. It's like Sir Gregory has done.
Oh, by the way, Sir Gregory rang just now. He'd be dropping in to see how you're getting on with that new job he gave you.
Well, we've been... and on the other hand, we... What was this new job, Mildred?
I don't know what you do without me. I really don't. It's the Milk Marketing Board, isn't it?
Oh.
You're supposed to be putting up ideas to boost their sales.
Yes. Have you any ideas, too?
Not really. I'm afraid milk keeps me awake.
Milk keeps you awake?
Yes, the dairy delivers at 5 in the morning.
Sorry, look, well, I'll be nipping out for a moment now, Mildred. I promised to explain my infallible racing system to Rudge at the Board of Trade, you see. Now, I'll be back by the time Sir Gregory gets here.
Righty-ho, sir.
Could you find me some sticky tape, Mildred? I want to repair my umbrella.
Here you are, Mr. Lamb, but it's not going to rain today.
I'm afraid it is. There's a twinge in my left knee. That's a sure sign of rain.
Oh, I better get my wellies from the safe, then. You're usually right about the weather.
It's old country folklore, Mildred.
Where did you get all this stuff, Mr. Lamb?
From my grandmother. She was born and brought up in the country. I used to spend my holidays with Granny. I'll never forget them. Running barefoot down the village street, swinging on the old barn door, scrumping apples from the vicar's garden.
Ah, when was this, Mr. Lamb?
Last year.
I see. Well, you get on with mending your brolly. I've got to go and place these bets for Mr. Lennox-Brown.
Now then, too, we'd better look busy. Remember, Sir Gregory's threatened to drop in.
Well, I suppose we can't complain. He hasn't really troubled us lately.
Well, he's been too busy with his new house, hasn't he? Did you see the picture in today's Gazette?
No.
I've got it here. Now, have a look at that. It's certainly a lovely old place, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Sir Gregory Pitkin's newly acquired stately home. Lady Pitkin stands outside with her dog.
It's Tudor, you know.
I'm not surprised. It does look rather vicious.
Of course, he's had the whole place renovated, you know. Oh, he has found a swimming pool built in the garden. He's giving an enormous barbecue party by the pool next month.
Is he? We haven't been invited.
Well, you haven't too, because you're a junior executive. See? Only VIPs and the top brass, you see, will be going.
You've been asked, have you?
Well, not yet. But no doubt I will be. Good afternoon, you two. Oh, Sir Gregory, how nice to see you.
Talk of the devil.
Do have a seat, sir. Make yourself at home. And no doubt you wish you were at home in that splendid new mansion of yours. 24 bedrooms, I understand.
Yes, and that's only the east wing. Well, a man in my position needs a decent place, Lennox-Brown.
Oh, of course.
Yes, very pleasant on a summer's evening to make a pot of coffee and sit there in the grounds.
Yes, quite so, yes. And how is Lady Pitkin, sir?
Oh, very busy. You know, we're finalizing preparations for my barbecue party.
I suppose the invitations will be, they'll be going out soon.
They've already gone out, Lennox-Brown.
Oh, have they?
Well, most of them.
Yeah, you mean there are still some to come?
Champagne and dancing by the pool, music and caviar in the moonlight. Oh, you'll be amazed when you see the decor.
Yes, I'm sure. Did you say when I see her, sir? Oh, then you mean that...
Yes, of course. There'll be pictures in all the papers. It may even be covered on television. Now listen, you two. I've just had a word with Lord Stilton.
The man in charge of civil service invitation. Administrator.
That's right.
Yes,
He's
yes.
very worried about the meteorological office. And these Met Office people are so preoccupied with their rain gauges and their barometric pressures, they haven't been filling in their forms properly.
Good Lord.
So you're both to go over to the Met Office for a few weeks and get their paperwork organized.
You mean instead of our work on the Milk Marketing Board?
No, Lamb. In addition to your work for the Milk Marketing Board. This is a bonus.
Oh, thank you, Sir Gregory.
Yes, well, I want you both to get over there as soon as possible.
Met Office. Don't much fancy that.
Oh, I don't know. I think it might be rather fun. And it'll be a change at any rate.
Here we are, sir. Your evening paper with the racing results.
Thank you, Mildred, yes. Now then, did they all come up, or only most of them?
Here. You all right, sir? Your glasses have all misted up.
Didn't your horses win, Mum?
3 of them came in last.
And what about the fourth?
7-year-itch was scratched.
Oh, I am sorry, sir.
Shall we go to the Met Office?
Oh, very well, yes.
I'm quite looking forward to meeting the Met men. They're all top scientific brains, you know.
Excuse me, Mr. Bassett.
Aye, what's up, Peabody?
Sorry to disturb you, Mr. Bassett. I said sorry to disturb you.
Come in then, lad. Sit down. I'll be with you in a minute. Just let me finish tonight's forecast.
I don't mean to be a nuisance. I said I don't mean to be a nuisance.
By heck, Peabody, what's the matter? You stood there like a shallow depression. Are you poorly?
No, I'm all right in myself. I'm not under the weather.
Not under the weather, he said. What's the trouble, lad?
Well, someone's been tampering with my instrument.
Well, it's only the youthful high spirits, lad. You know what these typists are like.
But the end's broken off. I said the end's broken off.
You what?
The anemometer. It's broken, and now we can't measure the wind.
Hey, that is a problem. Anemometer's vital for our forecasts.
What are we going to do, Mr. Bassett? I said, what are we going to do? The country won't have any weather tomorrow.
Well, the way I feel, public don't deserve any weather. All this knocking us weathermen, I'm sick and tired of it. Forever mocking our forecasts. Yet it's been proved 40% of past forecasts were right.
But someone pointed out if we'd forecast the opposite, we'd have had 60% right.
Shush your chatter, Peabody. There's 2 chaps coming from Ministry today. Happen they can help us.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Mr. Bassett, is it, and Mr. Peabody?
That's right.
Yes.
I said that's right.
Yes. Now, my name's Lennox-Brown, and this is my junior colleague here. This is Mr. Lamb.
How do you do?
Well, take a few, gents. Welcome to the Met Office.
Yes.
You've come to help us with our paperwork, I hear.
As far as I can see, you've not filled in any forms for several months.
Well, we try to do without them, you see.
Do without forms? Well, what's the country coming to? I'd better go through your files. This is a dreadful state of affairs.
I'm very interested in the climate, Mr. Bassett. I do a little forecasting myself, in an amateur way.
What, by watching meteorological patterns?
No, by watching the state of my knees.
You what?
Knees, yes. If I get a twinge in my left knee, I know it's going to rain. As a matter of fact, I've got one now.
But that's plain daft, isn't it? There's hardly a cloud in the sky.
Well, it's never let me down yet.
By heck, Peabody, he's right. Look!
It's a downpour, Mr. Bassett. I said it's a downpour.
I've also got an ache in my left elbow, which means there's thunder about. What did I tell you?
Mr. Lamb, that's fantastic. This talent of yours could be very useful to us. You see, we've broken our anemometer.
So we can't make a forecast properly. I said we can't make a forecast properly.
Yes. Well, I'd be delighted to help you out, and I'll tell you one thing straight away. I'll be soaked to the skin tonight.
Your knee playing up worse, is it?
No, I left my umbrella in the office.
Here's your 11s, sir, and I borrowed Mr. Lamb's noddy mug. I hope you won't mind.
Not likely to find out, is he? Lording it over at the Met Office. While he's showing off over there, I have to sit here tackling these milk marketing problems on my own.
Oh, well, never mind, sir. I mean, perhaps Sir Gregory will invite you to his party on the 22nd.
Oh, I'm not interested in his mouldy party. Anyway, it's the 21st, not the 22nd. 7:30 for 8, evening dress, in the West Garden.
Oh, Lennox-Brown, I want a word with you.
Oh, come in, Sir Party. There, Sir Gregory. Have a seat, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you how pleased I am with Lamb. He's really been a great success at the Met Office.
Yes, well, I think he's learnt something in his years as my junior.
The experts are most impressed with him. They're not actually letting him write the forecast yet, but they're using a lot of his data. Now, the other reason for my visit is to see if you're doing anything on the evening of the 21st.
21st? Thank you, Sir Gregory. Yes, well, I'd better just consult my diary, sir. Just a moment. The 21st, you say?
That's right, the 21st.
Yes. Yes, I do seem to be free on that night, sir.
Well, I'm holding a party at my new house. I think I mentioned it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
We're planning to have this big barbecue by the swimming pool.
A big barbecue by the swimming pool, sir, yes.
And we're looking for someone to turn the handle of the barbecue spit.
You're looking for someone to turn that... turn the handle of the barbecue spit?
Yes, I thought you'd be the very person. It doesn't need any skill, you see.
But, Sir Gregory...
And, of course, it won't be all work. I'm sure Cook will find you something in the kitchen at the end of the evening.
Sir Gregory,
No need to worry about your clothes. We'll give you a white overall.
Sir Gregory, I'm afraid I shall not be able to assist you on the 21st.
But you just said you were free.
Yes, well, I hadn't noticed, sir. The 21st is, it's the Queen's birthday. Yes, I tried to avoid too many commitments.
Oh, well, suit yourself, Lennox-Brown. It's going to be a splendid occasion.
I'm sure it will be, sir, yes.
Yeah, I've invited plenty of gals to add a spot of glamour around the swimming pool. And Lord Stilton's going to drop in.
A very nice friend.
Well, mustn't keep you from your work, Lennox-Brown. You've plenty to do to keep up with young Lamb.
Blooming cheek. Only trying to get you along as the hired help.
Yeah, I don't mind being insulted by Sir Gregory. I'm used to it by now. Now, what gets my goat is all this fuss about Lamb.
This job at the Met Office seems right up his alley.
Well done, Mr. Lamb. You were right again this morning.
One thing does worry me, Mr. Lamb. Well, I wonder why you're keeping 3 sheep and a herd of cows in the front hall.
My granny swears by sheep and cows. When cows do sit and their legs seem missing, down the rain will soon come hissing. And when sheep all turn their backs in one direction, that's where the wind's going to come from.
Aye. Well, I knew there must be a reason. I told you, didn't I, Peabody? I told you. Mr. Lamb has his reasons for cows in the front hall.
Well, trouble is, you see, one of them's kicked the receptionist. I said one of them's kicked the receptionist.
Oh, dear. Well, perhaps they'd be better in the office here. I thought of that in the first place, but the cows wouldn't get in the lift.
Well, we'll leave them for now, Mr. Lamb. There's a more important matter. Well, 2 more important matters.
Really?
Well, first off, we've been so impressed with the stuff you've given us. We think it's time we let you do the actual forecast. In your own words, like.
You mean my forecast will go out on the BBC?
Aye, and tonight's must be specially accurate.
Yes.
The army are standing by for a big exercise tomorrow, and they'll not start unless they know the weather will be okay.
My words will be read by the real announcer. My superiors will be impressed.
Another gin and tonic with your gin and tonic, Lord Stilton?
Oh, no, thank you, Pitkin. I never drink much before dinner.
Besides, I've already had 7.
So glad you can get along to my party next month.
Oh, looking forward to it, Pitkin. Your new country mansion sounds quite a place.
Then I think it will be quite an evening. I've just heard TV cameras are definitely going to be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that documentary fella, Alan Snicker. He's filming the house and the party for his series on the stately homes of England.
Well, let's hope we get a fine evening.
Well, at least we'll know in advance. The weather forecasts are so much more accurate lately.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, I sent one of my staff along to the Met Office to help him out.
Well done, well done.
Well, I mustn't take all the credit, but I suggested he use the old country folklore. And it's worked splendidly. I've always had great faith in these tried and trusted methods.
Folklore?
Never fails. I told young Lamb all about it. Oh, he's one of the bright new team I developed. As from today, he's writing the forecast himself.
Well, perhaps we should hear one, Pitkin. There's a big army exercise tomorrow. They're depending on fine weather.
Let's see. Yes, we're just in time. They'll be coming to the end of the news. Now, if you pass my radio, I'll switch it on, and I think you'll be rather impressed.
The minister said action would be taken urgently as soon as he heard from the Royal Commission. They were rushing their report and hoped to complete it by 1990. And now the weather forecast. A generally clear night, but there may be a bit of rotten old cloud around cocoa time. Never mind, tomorrow looks very jolly, so remember, hang out your woolies by 7:30. They'll all be dry before 11.
What on earth is this nonsense?
The south of England is moving slowly north and should reach Scotland by dawn. On the Air Ministry roof today, the seaweed was as dry as a canteen sandwich. So it's bound to be fine and warm this evening and tomorrow. Visibility good, except in darkness. Very dry, there's absolutely no chance of rain.
But switch it off, Pitkin. I've never heard such rubbish in all my life.
Rubbish, sir?
Total and utter rubbish, the whole thing.
Yes, sir, of course, sir. Absolute rubbish. I've said so all along.
Seaweed, folklore, it's all complete piffle.
My own view exactly.
Get him off it at once. Folklore, indeed. This is the 20th century.
Quite right, sir. You put your finger on it.
I've just remembered something else. The government's ordered a computer to forecast the weather anyway.
Yeah, computer, sir?
Oh, wonderful thing, wonderful thing. Cost $3.5 million, you know. Being installed next week. That'll remove the element of human error entirely. Now then, Two.
You've come to congratulate me on my work with the weather.
Well, to put it as tactfully as I can, no.
No?
Sir Gregory was appalled at your forecast yesterday. Childish rubbish, he called them.
He can be very rude when he wants to be.
Oh, that was the politest thing he said. And not only that, they were widely inaccurate.
We all make mistakes.
But yesterday wasn't a good time to choose. Because you promised fine weather, the Army launched their biggest exercise in years.
And it wasn't a success?
No, it was not. A battalion of troops in light summer rigs stuck in a snowdrift on Dartmoor. Froze the buttons off their tunics. The Yorkshire Regiment got lost in the fog and ended up storming Bradford Art Gallery.
It won't happen again, One.
Yes, that's very true, too. In future, forecasts will be done by computer. It's one of the wonders of modern science. It's being installed next week. There it is, Mildred. The new weather computer. £3.5 million worth of top technology. Just listen to it humming.
Humming? For that money, I'd expect you to sing grand opera.
It's revolutionized the forecasting business. In the 10 days we've been using it, it hasn't been wrong once.
Well, I know the top brass are impressed. I hear they moved the troop into the colour because of it.
Yes, indeed. It forecast bad weather for the 10th, so they held it 2 days later in brilliant sunshine. On the original day, it poured with rain, and they made a fortune selling plastic raincoats to the tourists. Good morning, gentlemen. How's the computer today, eh? Running very smoothly, Lord Simpson. Oh, good. Yes. What did I tell you, Pitkin? Would you like to see it in action?
Yes, I certainly would.
Well, your wish is our command, sir. Now, we've already fed in the relevant figures on pressure, temperature, and so on. All we do now is insert this card with today's date. So... Then I turn this handle. Push that button up your end, too.
What? Oh, yes.
And hey presto, here are the weather conditions in central London at this very moment. Clear skies with a slight breeze.
Amazing! Now that's what I call a computer.
Of course, you could have found that out by just looking through the window.
Be quiet.
Oh, yes, this machine will have tremendous effects on government policy. Knowing the weather for months ahead, we'll be able to go in for really detailed long-term planning.
We're working on the long-range forecast today, sir.
Quite, and it's a very important one. As you know, it's been dry and sunny for 2 days now, and the farmers are getting a little worried. They're wondering when we'll get some rain.
The computer will have the answer in a couple of hours.
Oh, splendid, splendid. Well, we'll have a spot of lunch, Pitkin, and come back this afternoon.
Good idea, sir. My car's outside.
Oh, that's all right. We'll use my car.
All right.
You can pay for the lunch.
Thank you, sir.
I'll get the rest of the data one.
Very well, sir.
Oh, by the way, sir, your bookie's been on again.
Oh.
He enjoyed that fudge you sent him, but he still wants the money you owe him.
You brought the racing papers, did you?
Yes, sir, here they are.
Yeah. The trouble is, you see, Mildred, I can't seem to pick them out anymore, you know.
Why don't you ask the computer? If it can forecast weather, it can probably forecast winners.
Mildred, how could you suggest such a thing? That would be a gross misuse of government property.
Oh, I'm sorry I spoke, I'm sure. I better nip off and help Mr. Lamb. I'll see you later, sir.
Now, what's come over the girl? Use the computer for racing in the end? Still, I suppose it might work. Anyway, no one would know. Yeah, could just try it, perhaps. Let's see, 3 o'clock, 8 runners, likely lad, one last time out, ridden by Alf Burt.
Where's Mr. Lennox-Brown now?
Collecting Lord Stilton and Sir Gregory. They've come back to hear the long-range forecast.
Yeah. Sorry, Mildred.
Well, that's all right, sir. I thought it was the computer.
You're right. It is the computer. I say, it feels quite hot. Almost as if someone had been feeding it the wrong sort of stuff.
Well, surely not. That would be a gross misuse of government property.
Mr. Bassett told me these computers are very sensitive. If you don't treat them properly, all sorts of things can happen.
Here we are, gentlemen. The computer should be ready with the forecast.
We can work out our plans for the whole summer.
I'll feed in the card for the next 4 months. Right, sir?
The computer's terribly hot, man.
Well, never mind that. Come on, push the button.
Yes.
There we are, sir. 4 months' weather at a glance.
Read it out, Lennox-Brown.
Very good, sir, yes. May, hot and sunny, no rain. June, very hot and sunny, no rain. July, heat wave, no rain, drought conditions. August...
There must be rain in August. That's when everyone's on holiday.
No! August, extreme heat, no rain, serious drought.
Lord, no wonder the farmers are worried.
But this will be the worst drought we've ever had. Thank heavens the computer's warned us. Now we must take immediate steps.
Perhaps we should restrict the use of water, sir, to conserve the reservoirs.
Don't be ludicrous, Lennox-Brown.
Restrict the use of water? Yes, you're quite right. That's just what we need to do, Pitkin?
Yes, sir. Yes, restrict the use of water. Yes, I was going to suggest it myself. In fact, why not ban it altogether? I never drink it.
I must see the PM at once. The Cabinet will need statutory powers to cut off water supplies. And come along, Pitkin, come along. We must get things moving before this drought takes hold.
Well, sir, I hope you know what you're doing with this water ban. Just a week of it's driven my mum up the wall. Especially when Dad got dirty in the garden.
What did she do, Mildred?
Well, what could she do? She sent him to be dry cleaned. How do you get on at your place, Mr. Lamb?
I wipe myself down with an oily rag. And my landlady baths in milk.
Mrs. Bratby baths in milk?
Yes, only she splashes about so much she ends up sitting in a tub of cream cheese. Now, what about your roses, one? They must be dying without water.
We found a way of keeping them moist.
Oh, yes?
Yes. Last thing at night, I go down the garden and, splash some water from the water butt.
Lucky the rain's kept your water butt filled.
That's something that puzzles me, sir. I mean, it's officially a drought. but we've had lots of rain this week.
Never mind the rain, Mildred. If the computer says it's a drought, then drought it is.
Mind you, the machine was a bit odd the day of the forecast. It went all hot and got hiccups.
Yeah, I wonder, sir, do you think we ought to see if it still thinks there's going to be a drought?
You mean feed in the current information and get another forecast? Good idea, Mildred.
I suppose it might help to pass the afternoon. Round up the relevant data, too. We may as well see what it says.
It should have the answer by now, one. I'll press my button and you turn your hat on.
All right, too. Off we go, then.
Here's the forecast. There we are.
What's it say, sir?
It says May, cloudy, cool, heavy rain. June, some sunshine, but mainly cold and wet. July, well, there isn't a drought at all. It's a typical English summer.
Good Lord.
Yeah, just a minute, sir. There's another bit of paper come out.
What?
I think the computer's trying to tell us something.
Oh, so it is. Let me see. Sorry about last week's clangor. I had a bout of hot flushes due to having been interfered with.
Whoever could have done that?
Oh, the computer says I was interfered with by Mr. Lennox-Brown, who stuffed a lot of horses up my intake. It goes on, Mr. Lennox-Brown is a conniving old devil. Please, could I have a glass of water?
Honestly, sir, how could you?
But you suggested it, Mildred. I'd no idea it would cause any harm.
Lord Stilton will go mad, sir. You cut off the country's water for no reason.
And what about Sir Gregory? He was moaning all day because his party's tonight and there isn't any water in the pool.
Well, now, that's one thing we can put right, too. Now, get on to the local water board.
Yes.
Tell them the emergency's over.
Yes.
They can switch on supplies as soon as possible.
Let's hope they'll be in time, one. Alan Snickers covering the whole thing for TV.
Hello. This is Alan Snicker, and tonight I'm visiting one of the stately homes of England, near the little Bedfordshire village of Brusque. Here stands Brusque Manor. Is this the home of the idle rich living la dolce vita English style, or is it the home of a self-made man reaping the rewards of his success? Let's find out by looking at Sir Gregory Pitkin's Brusque Manor in beds. It's typical of the man that with the national water ban keeping his swimming pool dry, he's turned frustration to advantage by holding his party in the empty pool. In this large sunken cavern, sheltered from the summer breeze, mingle the rich and famous, the powerful and successful, a heady mixture of influence and affluence. Down there at the deep end, an archbishop joins a notorious actress and Sir Gregory himself. Almost, one might say, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But what's this? Water has started pouring into the pool from all four corners. The party mood is changing to one of panic. Even the Prime Minister has stopped smiling. Sir Gregory Pitkin, calm as always, is urging the ladies to take their clothes off. Now, the water is rising rapidly and Lord Stilton comes floating past me, clutching a sherry trifle. And now Sir Gregory, no longer calm, is trying to climb onto my shoulders. But it's too late. Is this the beginning of the end? Or isn't it? From this strange underwater scene, good night.
Lucky Sir Gregory never found out who had that water turned on.
Oh, I think he was really quite pleased. He got him on the front page of every paper in the country.
But what about that business with the computer? That false alarm was all your fault.
We simply said conditions had changed and there wasn't going to be a drought after all, due to an occluded anticyclone round the polar ice cap.
Do what?
Yes, well, don't worry, Mildred. No one else understood it either, luckily.
Which just goes to prove what my granny used to say.
What was that, sir?
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good.
Under the weather as the men from the ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley and John Graham. The programme was written by Edward Taylor and John Graham and produced by Edward Taylor. Time to meet the men from the ministry. We're all set once again for a quick sprint down the corridors of power with Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham and the men from the ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. This programme is a tribute to those special people who work in government offices and to the many others who just spend their days there. Their life is built on comradeship, executives and secretaries working together for a common goal, and friendships quickly blossom.
Come along now, don't be shy. I've got something special for you. Don't you fancy a little nibble?
I'm back, Mildred. Good Lord. What are you doing on your hands and knees?
Oh, it's all right, Mr. Lennox-Brown. I'm giving Engelbert his lunch.
Oh, I see, yes. Who's Engelbert?
Well, he's a mouse, isn't he? Oh, he's gone now. You've frightened him.
And a good job, too. You shouldn't encourage vermin. Cunning little rats, these mice.
I was just giving him a couple of biscuits. They were in your out tray, so I thought you'd done with them.
Biscuits? Out tray?
Your crackers.
What? Yes. Well, now, don't waste valuable ministry time, Mildred. You've more important things to do.
Oh, don't worry, sir. The kettle is on.
Good. I need reviving. Yes, I've just had a rather painful hour with the permanent undersecretary.
Oh, Lord.
Our esteemed colleague, Mr. Lamb, has managed to bungle another job.
What, again?
Yeah, you wouldn't think it's possible, would you? He's like a bull with his own travelling china shop.
He was helping the Ministry of Transport, wasn't he?
He was, Mildred, yes, if helping is the appropriate word. They told him to reroute some traffic through Covent Garden.
Through the markets, you mean?
Yes, Mildred, that is what they meant. Mr. Lamb misunderstood and rerouted the traffic through Covent Garden Opera House. Yes, the leading soprano had to sing her aria on top of a cartload of Brussels sprouts. The tenor sang, "I fear no foe in armour bright," and summer hit him with a tin of corned beef.
I suppose they had more carmen than they bargained for.
Mildred, please, it's no laughing matter.
I'm sorry, sir. I bet Sir Gregory was angry.
Angry? He was beside himself. Beside himself! And what an ugly pair they looked.
Where's Mr. Lamb now?
Well, he's carrying out a little task for civil service maintenance, a simple matter of buying some carpet.
Oh, well, he couldn't possibly bungle that. Could he?
Oh, no. He just has to buy some light Wilton carpet for every office in Whitehall.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Well, there's been a slight surplus of money this year, you see. It's very important we spend it or next year's budget gets cut.
Oh. Will we be getting new carpet?
No, not immediately, Mildred. The idea is to get the stuff while the money's there and store it in the ministry's basements till later. Lamb was to have it delivered today before the end of the financial year.
Oh, I'll go and fetch the tea, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Mildred. Sure.
Here I am, Juan. The stuff's arrived, and it's all down in the basements like you told me.
Well, I can hardly believe it.
I don't know why everyone's so rude about my work. Lots of people make mistakes.
Yes, but to make as many as you do takes an expert.
Well, some people appreciate me. I came up in the lift with that nice Mr. Crawley from the office next door.
Oh, creepy Crawley. Well, what did he have to say, then?
He asked me to what I attributed my success.
Oh, yes.
I said 3 things, the most important being my excellent memory.
And the other 2?
Those I couldn't recall.
Lovely cup of char and a donut for you, Mr. Lamb.
Well, I must say I really deserve it. I've just finished a completely successful job, Mildred. Sir Gregory will be thrilled.
Well, talk of the devil. Good morning, Sir Gregory.
Oh, how nice to see you, sir. Please come in.
Can we press you to a donut, Sir Gregory?
Are you all right, sir? You seem rather quiet.
I am speechless, Lennox-Brown. I'm going to get to the bottom of this if it kills you.
Oh, thank you.
Did you tell Lamb to spend this year's budget surplus and have the purchases stored in the basement?
I did, Sir Gregory, yeah.
And what precisely were your orders?
I told him to buy £1,000 worth of light Wilton for each ministry.
Oh dear.
You misheard, didn't you, Lamb? You didn't get light Wilton, did you?
No.
No. Tell us what you bought instead.
£1,000 worth of ripe Stilton.
Lamb, in all my years in public service, I have never encountered such asinine incompetence.
Don't try to hide it, Sir Gregory. You're cross, aren't you?
Cross? I'll murder you. I'll shake you till the sawdust runs out of your ears. I'll throttle you.
No, Sir Gregory, please. No, please, remember your blood pressure. Look, we'll soon get rid of the cheese, sir. We'll throw it away.
You will not throw it away, Lennox-Brown.
We'll not throw it away now.
That cheese costs public money. It will stay in the basement till you have sold it at a profit.
But the smells of it.
That's your problem. I'll be away till Thursday. Have the cheese sold and removed by then, or I'll do you a mischief with that fire extinguisher.
Oh, this is the end, too.
I'm sorry, One. I misunderstood your orders.
The whole ministry is beginning to talk about you, you know.
Not everyone thinks I'm hopeless. I told you Mr. Crawley quite admires me. And he laughs at my jokes. He says I'm a great wit.
Well, he's half right.
I must say, I've never seen Mr. Lamb work so hard. I mean, since Sir Gregory shouted at him yesterday, he's been really trying.
Mr. Lamb has always been very trying.
Oh, I mean, he's doing his best to get rid of that stuff. He's been on the phone all morning.
Yeah, well, where is he now?
Well, he and Mr. Crawley are going round the corridors with an air freshener. He said a little squirt would make life more pleasant.
Well, he's never made my life pleasant. Worst of it is, Sir Gregory always blames me. I sometimes wonder why I stay here.
What about your pension?
That's why I stay here.
Never mind, eh? Have a biscuit with your 11s. We've still got some of them chalky ones.
Oh.
Here we are.
Yes, well, thank you, Mildred, thank you. Oh, yes, and then I want to fix that curtain rail.
Oh, yeah. I wondered why you brought the hammer.
Yes, well, I thought, you see, the Good grief. These biscuits have been got at.
Got at, sir?
Well, look, the paper's been nibbled away and there are teeth marks on the biscuit box.
Oh. Well, you can't blame Mr. Lamb for that. At least I don't think you can.
No, Mildred, it's that wretched mouse you've been encouraging. He's been at these biscuits.
Oh, yeah, I believe you're right. Blooming sheep.
Yes, well, that does it, Mildred. No more feeding mice in this office. We'll have to find some way to get rid of the blighter.
Oh, it's a shame. He was such a sweet little chap.
Quick, pass me the unnibbled biscuits before Mr. Lamb gets back for his 11s. That mouse has definitely got to go. Nasty little pest.
Well, that's a good job done, Mr. Crawley. Not that my colleague will appreciate it. He never appreciates anything I do.
Oh, don't you worry, Mr. Lamb. It's a long road that has no what's-his-name. That's what I always say.
Lennox-Brown even said that he'd like to get rid of me. Do you know, if we listen outside the door, I bet they're saying something nasty about me behind my back. Shh, just listen.
You really think we should get rid of him?
We must get rid of him. He's a nuisance and a menace.
Yeah, what did I tell you? They are talking about me.
Nibbling my biscuits is the last straw.
Never touched his rotten biscuits. I've got my own.
I can't understand why you've encouraged him.
Well, I felt sorry for him, I suppose. I mean, he looks so pathetic when his little nose twitches.
Well, I think he's repulsive, disgusting, scuttling about with those beady little eyes.
He's very personal.
And what about his filthy habits? Have you seen what he did behind the filing cabinet?
What's he on about?
Must be my chewing gum.
Vermin like that are a hazard to health. Oh, yes, he's definitely got to go.
Oh, well, I suppose it would be a release in a way. He doesn't have much of a life here.
Yes, the question is how. Well, all in all, I suppose poison's the answer.
Poison?
Some sort of trap. A good sharp blow would kill him instantly.
Yes, but that could be messy, you know. Tell you what, we'll start with poison, and if he won't take it, we'll try something more violent.
I think there's some poison in the cupboard.
Good. No time like the present.
You look all of a quiver, Mr. Lamb. Quick, you come away from there. There's an open window along here. You'd better get some fresh air.
I can't believe it. They want to kill me.
No, Mr. Lamb, don't climb out of the window. You'll fall and break your what's-his-name.
I've got to get out of here.
That would only make things worse. Running away doesn't solve anything.
Doesn't it?
You've got to go back into that office and face them. Take your what's-his-name in both hands. Pretend you don't suspect anything. Just act normally. Find out what their plans are.
Yeah, that should do it. Oh, hello. That sounds like Mr. Lamb coming back. I'll pour his 11s.
Oh, there you are, two. Come in. We've been waiting for you.
You have? I mean, you have?
Here you are. I've got your 11s all ready for you.
No.
What?
No 11s for me, thanks. I'm slimming.
Slimming? Oh, you don't want to bother with that rubbish. Life's too short.
Is it?
Now, come along. Come on, drink it up.
No, honestly.
Oh, drink it up, too. Mildred poured it for you specially.
Oh, all right. Oh,
what's wrong with you? You spilled it on your geranium.
Sorry, I slipped. Look, the geranium's wilting.
Well, you'd wilt if someone poured boiling hot coffee on your petals. Please.
Well, that's enough of that nonsense. I've got a job to do, and I might as well get on with it. Pass me the hammer, Mildred.
The hammer?
Yes, it's curtains, too. Shouldn't take long.
No, please, spare me. I'm too young to die.
Pull yourself together and come down off that desk.
Not the hammer one. I'd sooner take the poison.
Oh, there's none left, Mr. Lamb. We put it all down for the mouse.
Couldn't I just resign? Mouse? Did you say mouse?
That's right. He's been nibbling the biscuits.
Has he got beady eyes and a twitchy nose?
Of course he has. Ever such a titchy-witchy nose.
Oh, there we are. That's the curtain rail fixed. Now then, two, what on earth was all the fuss about?
Well, I thought that they were... you'd hardly believe it, though. Huh? Well, I thought you were planning to kill me.
Kill you? Dear chap, what an extraordinary idea. I know I was pretty cross with you, but I mean, when all's said and done, I wouldn't actually kill you.
Thank you very much.
Can't have civil servants murdering each other. Could be questions in the house.
I'll try to do better in the future.
Good, and I'll try and help you.
Okay.
Teamwork now, too, teamwork.
Yes.
That's what the civil service calls for. Teamwork and friendship. Just you concentrate on getting rid of that cheese before Sir Gregory gets back on Thursday.
Oh, yes, man, I will. Yes, I will.
Splendid. Still, I'll keep the hammer by me in case you bungle something else. Morning, Mildred. Morning. Sorry I'm late. A little trouble getting on my train this morning.
Oh?
Yes, must have been a new driver. It stopped 10 yards further along than usual.
Is that bad?
It was rather unfortunate. There we all were, lined up on the edge of the platform, reading our newspapers. We all stepped forward in the usual way. The last 40 commuters fell on the line.
Shame. Well, never mind. I've got the kettle on.
Ah, good. Sir Gregory's back today, isn't he?
Yes, sir. I just saw him. He didn't look too pleased.
Yes, typical. Well, he'll be here any moment wanting to know what we've done about that Stilton.
All our troubles are over, one. I've sold the cheese.
Well done, too. Well done indeed.
Yeah, I can't think how you managed it. Who on earth bought 8 tons of mouldy cheese?
British Rail, of course. For their station buffets.
Very good thinking, too. That's a very shrewd move, yes.
Thank you, Anne. And
yes.
How about your mouse problem?
Oh, we haven't seen Engelbert for days, Mr. Lamb. He seems to have gone of his own accord.
So, things are looking up all round. I told you to. What we need is teamwork and friendship.
Lennox-Brown, Lem.
Oh, good morning, Sir Gregory.
Oh, be quiet, Lennox-Brown.
There's no need to be angry, Sir Gregory. I've sold the cheese and everything's sorted out. What we need is fretwork and steamship.
I realize Yes, you've now sold the cheese lamb at last, but it's been down there the best part of a week, with the result that the whole of Whitehall is swarming with mice.
Mice, Sir Gregory? We haven't seen any. Well, only one, and he lives here.
The mice aren't up here in the attics yet. They made for the cheese in the basements.
So that's where Engelbert went.
But the cheese was removed this morning.
Exactly, and that's why the mice are now swarming all over the buildings.
Good grief. A plague of mice.
In some offices, secretaries are standing on the desks holding their skirts up. In other offices, executives are standing on the desk holding their secretaries up.
Oh, glory.
Large numbers of mice actually penetrated the canteen and stayed there until they tasted the food.
They'll go away now the cheese is gone.
They will not go away till you get rid of them. And they're not just in this building. They're all over Whitehall. They've even got into the House of Commons.
Oh, Lord. Mice gnawing at the seat of government.
Yeah, they're making such a noise, a lot of members can hardly sleep.
Oh, dear.
Well, this is your problem, you two. These are your mice brought here by your cheese. It's up to you to get rid of them.
But I don't know anything about mice, Sir Gregory.
Then you'd better learn. Quick. There are holes in the floor. That's where the mice are coming from. You'll have to stuff them with cement.
But they'd never keep still long enough, would they?
Don't say another word, Lamb. Just keep out of my sight until you and Lennox-Brown have got rid of every mouse in Whitehall. Now get on with it.
What do we do about the mice?
Well, as I know nothing about them and you know nothing about anything, we'll need advice from an expert.
A good idea. Mildred, pass me the trade directory. Let's have a look through the yellow pages. Now then, laundries, lepidopterists, mountain removals. Here we are. Mouse expert, Mr. Cameron, Hampstead Court, Richmond.
Well, now, cancel appointments for the rest of the morning, Mildred. We must go and see this Cameron fellow at once.
Are you busy, Mr. Cameron?
No, come in, Finlay.
I just had a phone call from Lady O'Grady. She asked me to thank you for all you've done for her pet mice.
They're quite recovered, are they? She gave them the white powder.
Oh, yes, she's delighted. They're breeding like rabbits, she says. Your white powder's done them a world of good.
It seldom fails. I think this calls for a celebration, Finlay. You'll take a dram.
Ooh, thank you, Mr. Cameron. And there are two gentlemen from Whitehall to see you.
Oh, show them in, Finlay, show them in. No doubt they have sick mice too. We must do our best for the poor wee creatures.
Come in, gentlemen. Mr. Cameron will see you now.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Cameron. My name is Lennox-Brown. This is my junior colleague here. This is Mr. Lamb.
Take a seat, gentlemen, take a seat.
We have a mouse problem, Mr. Cameron.
Uh-huh.
Yes, things are really quite serious, you know. We don't know what to do.
So as a last resort, we've come to you.
Now, there's only one answer, man. A wee box of my white powder.
White powder. Yes. We have to put it down for them.
That should do the trick.
Yeah, we'll need rather a lot. You see, there are a great many mice.
I can give you my bumper bargain box and the tartan wrapper. I think you'll be surprised by the results. Very surprised indeed.
Morning, Mildred. The start of a bright new day.
I hope so, sir. There were still quite a few mice downstairs when I came in.
I ran out of powder just as I reached this building. I put matches down everywhere else in Whitehall. They'll be seeing the effects by now.
Morning, Joe. Morning, Mildred. Still some mice about, I'm sorry to see.
I was telling Mildred I didn't have quite enough powder to do this building, but all the other ministers will be seeing a dramatic change.
Good. And you'll get some more stuff today and do the same for us,
Yeah, that's right. The mice will be a thing of the past.
Yes, well done, well done. So all's well that ends well, then, eh?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to see Sir Gregory's face.
Lennox-Brown, Lamb.
Yes, well, I could wait it a bit longer. Well, now, don't worry, Sir Gregory. I know there's still a few mice in this building, but, in the rest of Whitehall, things are fine. By now, there won't be a single mouse.
That's true, Lennox-Brown. All the mice have married and produced large families.
It's very amusing, Sir Gregory.
It is not amusing.
It is not amusing.
The whole area is swarming with mice. They're teeming over Westminster Bridge like the tide coming in, as if something were attracting them. There are 10 times as many as before.
Some are even arriving by train from Scotland.
Could we possibly have made a boo-boo?
Well, now, there may have been a slight error, Sir Gregory, but we'll soon put it right, sir. Oh, we'll get rid of those mice in no time.
You'd better, Lennox-Brown, even if you have to kill each one individually with a bow and arrow. This is your last chance.
Oh, do just let me get my hands on you.
It's not my fault, man. You were at Mr. Cameron's. You agreed to use the powder.
Wait a minute. You're right. Yes, it's Cameron's fault. Get him on the phone, Mildred, will you?
He's on the line already, sir. I dialed while Sir Gregory was speaking.
Oh, good for you. Yes, right. Well, give me that phone, will you? Hello, Cameron. Now, we used that powder you gave us, and we've 10 times more mice than we had before.
Oh, good. I knew you'd be pleased.
Pleased?
Yon powder's just the thing to build them up, you know. Vita mouse, we call it. You'll have fine, bonny mice for years.
We don't want fine, bonny mice. We want to get rid of the pests.
Get rid of them? Oh, dear me.
Look, we thought you were a mouse expert.
Well, so I am, man, an expert on breeding pet mice.
Oh, golly. Well, look, can you put us in touch with someone who can poison them?
Man, you'll be wasting your time. Once they've taken Vita mouse, no poison can harm them.
Thank you. The mice are immune to poison.
Excuse me, sir, but there's a much simpler way to get rid of mice.
What's that?
A cat.
Oh, Jove, you're right, you know. Why didn't we think of that?
I mean, keeping a cat's the obvious answer. Like my granny. Chases the mice out into the yard and bites them.
Funny granny.
The cat, Mr. Lamb.
Oh. Well, Mildred, perhaps we could borrow your grandmother's cat for a while, could we?
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Yes.
Granny's away at the moment, pony trekking in Wales. Soon get this place clear.
Yes. Mind you know, one cat couldn't catch all the mice in Whitehall, could it?
She'll have to have some help. I'll send a memo to all departments saying that as from tomorrow, every office must have a resident cat.
Splendid.
Better tell them in the memo to get female cats. They're the best mousers.
I'll get on with it straight away. With a cat in every office, everything will be all right.
Well done, Mr. Lamb, and you, Mr. Lennox-Brown. Oh, life's been quite different since we had that cat in our office.
Oh, good.
Our window box has never been so good.
Really?
She keeps the pigeons off the peas and the sparrows off the strawberries.
Yes, well, these fringe benefits are very pleasant, Mr. Crawley, but the main thing is the cat's got rid of the mice.
They've all gone. There isn't a mouse to be seen anywhere.
Well, it just goes to show, doesn't it? Where there's a will, there's always a what's-his-name. See you at lunch, then, Mr. Lamb. Cheery-ho.
Odd chap. I wonder if those sandals are comfortable. By the way, where's our cat to?
She's asleep in the filing cabinet.
She's where?
In one of the drawers.
The third one down, I suppose. Filed under C for cat.
No. I put her in the drawer marked M for Moggy.
Yes, well, I think at last we can relax, you know. For once, Sir Gregory has nothing to grumble about. Ah, Sir Gregory. Do come in, sir, won't you? We have good news for you, sir.
Lennox-Brown.
Speaking, sir.
And Lamb.
Present correct, sir?
Was it you who sent a memo around Whitehall ordering every government office to keep a cat?
That is quite correct, sir, yes. Yes. We sent that memo. Oh, my word,
It
yes.
was a joint effort, really, Sir Gregory. Teamwork and friendship. That's our motto here.
Well, is that so, Lamb? And in your memo you specified that every office should have a female cat?
Indeed we did, sir, yes. They are the best hunters, according to the highest authority on the subject, sir.
Yes, Mildred tells us.
So we've got rid of all the mice, sir.
Oh, I'm not disputing that, Lennox-Brown.
Yeah.
You certainly got rid of the mice, but the whole of Whitehall is now overrun with tomcats.
Tomcats, Sir Gregory?
Hundreds of thousands of tomcats from all over London are rushing into the area.
To meet the lady cats in the government offices? Oh, dear.
And here is the news read by John Cole. Traffic in central London was brought to a halt today by huge numbers of cats converging on the Whitehall area. Thousands swarmed down Pall Mall and created a disturbance in the Royal Mews. The House of Commons, the debate was drowned by the yowling of tomcats in the public gallery. Several fell on Dame Emily Strop, MP for Snedfield and leader of the campaign to bring back the cat. The leader of the opposition made an impassioned speech on the national economy with a black Persian cat sitting on his head and a ginger Tom on each shoulder. He said he hoped the Chancellor would do nothing he might regret, and he felt the same about the cat on his head. There was no reply from the government front bench, where two Siamese cats were having kittens, and so was the Prime Minister. A Whitehall spokesman later described the situation as catastrophic.
I must say, when I was surprised how upset people got about those cats, weren't you? I thought we were supposed to be a nation of animal lovers.
Well, they did make difficulties, too. I mean, the noise was bad enough, but they had such peculiar habits. When those toms came charging in, two cats shot straight up my trouser leg.
I suppose you're right. Thank heavens it's all behind us.
Yes, I must say that was a real brainwave of yours, borrowing your landlady's Alsatian.
It certainly saw them off, didn't it?
My word.
I've never seen one dog chasing so many cats. They never knew what hit them.
Oh, at last it's all over. The cheese is gone, the mice have gone, the cats have gone, and thank heavens the whole rotten week's gone.
It's been a pretty hectic week, hasn't it?
Oh, my word, you can say that again.
It's been a pretty hectic week, hasn't it?
Well, I imagine Sir Gregory will pop in and congratulate us on getting things sorted out.
And I hope he'll return Mrs. Bradby's dog.
Oh, yes.
Here, you better fasten your safety belt. Sir Gregory's coming.
What?
He's running down the corridor like a mad thing.
Hey?
He looks terrified. I don't know what's come over him.
The dogs! The dogs! Somebody do something.
Dogs, Sir Gregory?
Yeah, they're after me. 100 of them. They tore the seat from my trousers. Good Lord, I can see your predicament. It's your fault again, you two.
Our fault, Sir Gregory?
And that blasted Alsatian of yours, it's a bitch. Every dog in London's after her.
Oh, dear. Here they come.
Quick, two. Run for it.
Gone to the dogs as the men from the ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma, Ronald Baddiley and John Graham. The programme was written by Edward Taylor and John Graham and produced by Edward Taylor.